Use soap to get your act together. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1445 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey as I transition from brick and mortar to the corporate world of business to the online world of business. Talked about that a lot. I realized that I say that a lot in my videos. I'm like, who cares? It doesn't matter. What am I here to do? Share the experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly of what has worked and what hasn't worked in my business experience. And I've got 48 years of business experience, different businesses, different industries, both offline and online now. Online since 2017 only. Now, did I dabble in social media prior to that? Yeah, but not really. I'm kind of ashamed to say that I had no online component to my previous businesses, or sporadic online components to my previous businesses. I grew up in the corporate world before the internet. I grew up in a lot of the business world before the internet. People were getting in and dabbling, but it wasn't a huge part of everybody's business like it is today, especially since COVID and the pandemic. COVID and the pandemic, I think, did one of the greatest things in terms of moving people to actual remote work, working from home, actual using tools and technologies that existed for probably a decade or more, but actually using them and applying them and realizing the benefits to economically and resource-wise and time and energy. And, it saves time to not drive to and from work. It saves time to not have to pay for parking. It saves time and money and resources to not have to go out to lunch every day, things like that. So today I call this one, use soap to get your act together. Why? Because in Supersize Your Business today, we talked about get your act together, the idiom get your act together. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And then I shared 10 ways to build your company and get your act together with respect to supersizing and growing your business. And then some couple of examples. I'm sure it went way too long, but that's my opinion of way too long, right? I think that maybe I have to get real with sharing 3 things, not, what are the 3 most important things, in my opinion, of a list of 10 things to get your act together. Just share the 3, or maybe I do 3 today, 3 tomorrow, 3 the next day, right? Maybe I start breaking some of those down, but then I'm talking about the same idiom for 4 days instead of just 1, which would be okay, right? We'll look at that this year and decide how we want to break things down and change things up and do things differently, because we should always be changing and growing and improving what we're doing. That is my emphasis for 2022 with respect to the annual challenge, which is our BU 365-day challenge. Started my own book on it, writing my own empty journal on it. And today was about applying the SOAP framework, because that I'm taking from my Get Up and Go challenge. And once a month, probably, the first or second week of the month, we'll get to applying and using the SOAP framework on a specific area or aspect of our life. So for example, this month, January, we're talking about physical things, our physical health, our breathing, our hydration, our supplement, our diet, our exercise, our environment, our home environment, our work environment, the physical things that surround us. Or maybe it's our clothes we want to change. Maybe it's our car, our job, because we hate our work environment. The culture is terrible. Whatever it is. Or maybe we're working from home, but we've just been hodgepodging it, kind of like my background, for a while, and it's time for a change. But whatever, we applied and used the journalistic framework, who, what, where, when, why, and how, to say, what is my current story? And then we applied those same questions, who, what, where, and why, and how, to what I want, because we have to pick what we want before we can apply the SOAP framework. When we are faced with a change or challenge, we want to handle that change or challenge in a way that is best for us, given the set of circumstances, given the time. Well, what is the current situation? What would we really ideally want it to be? And that creates a gap that we fill with the rest of the SOAP framework. So today we talked about the S, our current story, and then our desired story with respect to our physical, something physical. It could be anything physical. Yesterday we thought about what do we want physically, something. And then today we started to apply the SOAP framework to that. So I shared my current story and my desired story with respect to weight and setting weight goals, because I discovered, I had an epiphany this morning about how I do that. And that is one area of my life where I refuse to set interim goals. But I use the refusing to set interim goals as an excuse for not working on or not actually constantly making progress and just getting and maintaining and being my ideal weight, right? And what's interesting is I have, over the course of my life, my weight's gone up and down, up and down, up and down, usually corresponding to my health, right? When I have health challenges or I'm sad or don't feel like I'm making progress toward my goals, my weight goes up. So during COVID, my weight went up. And COVID's not over yet, so I'm saying my weight cannot be tied to COVID. That's the first thing, right? We need to cut that cord. But I don't do that in all areas of my life. There's just a couple areas of my life that I caught myself, oh my God, I do that. I have this huge, lofty, lifelong goal that I want, and ideal weight, right? What's ideal weight? If you don't set a number to it, if you don't decide and commit to a number for yourself, it's just a continually changing target, right? It's like saying, I want to be a billionaire, and then you won't have any interim goals. It's just, I want to be a billionaire someday. Well, then that's just a fantasy, right? It's not a goal. So we have to have, and it's really interesting because I set annual, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily actions to support my goals and objectives, which is funny. So it's funny to me that I realized this morning that I do that with weight. And so here's my opportunity as part of my continuous improvement, my annual challenge, to break down in little bitty pieces and make continuous improvement by realizing things like this that I haven't previously consciously realized about myself. And that's what we're all in the process of doing. We're all, as human beings, in the process of becoming what we're here to become and doing what we're here to do. So I get excited when I actually discover things, even though they're bad things about myself. I get excited when I actually realize and say, oh my God. It's kind of like when I realized I got up one morning and I was like, oh my God, the first voice in my head is my husband's. And we've been divorced for 10 years. I'm like, that's not okay. How did I subconsciously let that start happening? And how did I not consciously shut that down before now? Well, I wasn't ready, obviously. I obviously wasn't ready until the day I had the epiphany to change and do something about it. Same with the interim weight thing. It's like, okay, you need to set interim goals to achieve your long-term goal. So what is your interim goal? Well, that begins with going upstairs and stepping on the scale, which is, not gonna lie, I'm dreading it a little, but I'm gonna do it, right? Excuse me. I need some coffee. So that's what I'm working on. Again, I think I mentioned yesterday that I decided to incorporate the Get Up and Go challenge into the annual BU 365-day challenge. Now, it means that the videos every day are more than 1 to, sometimes under 1 minute, but about a minute to 3-4 minutes max. It means they're probably going to be longer, but that's okay because it's about continually improving and getting better and becoming who we want to become. And I think that's worth more than under a minute a day. Just my opinion. All right. That's all I've got today. I've got a gazillion things to do. I'm going to have to go up and get on that scale. So that's going to take some gumption to figure that out. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, you can direct message me on this video, or I will see you tomorrow. If you're not catching me on Facebook and on some other platform, just Google Sharon Horne-Ellstrom or Supersize Your Business or Pajama Grandma, and you will find me. Have an amazing day.